Good morning, students. I, Anu Dhariwal, welcome you all to the class once again. Children, we are discussing the topic paragraph writing, and in the last session, we discussed about descriptive paragraphs. We were discussing the rules to write a nice and good descriptive paragraphs, and we discussed 2 points. Let us move ahead and discuss the other 2 points. Third, talk about what it's used for to give a sense of its purpose. Now, if you remember, we are talking about an object. We are describing an object. So, talk about what it's used for. What is the use of that object to give a sense of its purpose? If you are defining an object, you obviously need to tell the audience or tell the reader its purpose. What is the purpose of the object that we are reading about? How do you use this object, or do you not use it at all? Why or why not? Everything should be included in it. Showing the reader the object's purpose through strong descriptive adjectives can help them visualize it more strongly, or even imagine what it would be like to use it themselves. So, the object purpose. Why we are telling the purpose of the object to the readers? So that the readers can imagine what is the object like, or maybe they can even imagine what it would be like to use it themselves. For example, you could say it was her lucky pencil, the one she always used for tests, and she kept it in a separate section of her backpack for that reason. She sharpened it slowly with her personal handheld sharpener, then carefully swept the shavings into the trash. From the sentence you can see we are talking about a pencil here. But talking about a simple pencil is different. Through these lines we are describing the pencil. And why is the pencil important here? We described it as a lucky pencil. And when we say lucky, the importance of the pencil automatically increases. Like, it was her lucky pencil, the one she always used for tests. That means the girl always uses one pencil, the same pencil which she thinks is her lucky pencil for the test, for all the tests. And it was so important to her that she kept it in a separate section of a backpack, not mixed with other things. She sharpened it slowly, carefully, nicely, with a personal handheld sharpener, and then carefully swept the shavings into the trash. So you can see, children, how we made just an ordinary pencil a very important one just by the writing style. It is just an ordinary pencil, but when we described it with using certain adjectives like lucky, the importance of the pencil increased, and it is also giving the readers its purpose, that the girl used to use this pencil during her class tests. Now, when you have to end your paragraph, end by telling or showing how the object is significant depending on your tone. When you have to end it, you cannot just end it like that. It won't create a beautiful writing or a powerful writing. You need to tell the readers why the object is so significant. If you're asking your reader to read a whole paragraph just about an object, you want them to know why it's so important. So, children, when we are describing something and you want your readers to read about it, a whole paragraph about the same thing, you need to tell the readers why it is so important. Why are we reading a whole paragraph about one single object? You can do this by telling the reader directly. When you're writing a paragraph, either you can do it when you're telling the significance of the object, you can tell it directly, or for a more subtle option, try showing them its significance by including relevance, telling details about the object or the way someone treats it. When you have to show that why is the object so important, you can do it by telling it relevance, why is so relevant. Or you can also tell the details about the object, the way someone treats it. You can show its importance by telling the readers how is someone treating that object. Let us take an example. You could show the importance by writing, suppose we are describing here a watch, and you have to tell the readers how much the watch is important. So you can write like, he took his watch off in the bathroom every night, cleaned it gently with a wet tissue and placed it on a small cloth on his bedside table. So if I would just say the watch is very important to him, it is just a simple line. Like I said, you can either tell it directly by just writing the watch was very important to him, or you can show its relevance by including certain things like, he took his watch off in the bathroom every night, cleaned it gently with a wet tissue. So we are telling it how important the watch is to him. Every night he took the watch to the bathroom, cleaned it gently with a wet tissue and placed it on a small cloth on his bedside table. This much is how the watch is important to that person. So when we are reading it, we can feel the importance of that watch for the person. But if we write it directly, the watch was very important to him. This is also correct, but it does not create anything or any sense or any imagination on your readers. Let us take one more example. For a more direct option, you could write, the book had been passed down by her grandmother to her mother and finally to Natasha. It was the oldest thing she'd ever owned and the thing she loved the most. So when we are writing it directly, we are just saying the book had been passed down by her grandmother. As you can see in the picture, is a girl holding the book, hugging them lovingly. The book might have been passed to her by her grandmother, then to her mother, and finally to herself. It was the oldest thing she'd ever owned. Now, this was the oldest thing she'd ever had and the thing she loved the most. This is the way how you write it directly. In both the cases, we can see the relevance and the importance of the object that we have been describing. And this is the only best way to end your paragraph, by adding a relevance or telling its importance to the readers.